name's Katrina. Welcome to my channel. This is Create Something Pretty, and today I'm going to be talking to you about everything I sewed for the month of July. I have managed to accumulate so much winter fabric that I have just not been inspired to sew up. I have been pushing myself to get as much made as possible during the winter months, and I'm quite happy with my progress so far. I do have a little bit of fabric left here to get through, and I have a little bit in the other room as well, and I've also destashed quite a few things. So hopefully I have a bit more in my room for some more modern winter fabrics for next year. So let's see what I actually made. So the first item I made was the Waves and Wild hot coffee hoodie. I have made the kids version 4 times now. This is one for me, and this one is called the hot coffee hoodie, not the hot chocolate hoodie. So this is what I made, and it is using I think it's a French terry of some sort from Spotlight. I have used Spotlight fabrics in the past, and I have not always been happy with their fleece style, but this one, I love this one. This is really nice. The fabric is so beautiful to wear, and I'll put some photos of me in wearing it. I made the hooded version, and it has the little floral bit on the inside, so the hood is lined, and it also crosses over at the front. And mine doesn't have a kangaroo pocket, though there is an option to do that as well. And I have finished off my cuffs and my hemband. I have used the same fabric for that as well. I was going to make it up using a ribbing, but I just didn't like how it was turning out. It just wasn't sewing up very nice, so I changed it. I actually took it off. I just didn't want to end up with another item in my wardrobe that I didn't like. I cut out a kangaroo pocket for the front, and that did not sew up well. I just couldn't make it look neat, so I just took it off. So that I just have a plain hoodie now, and this is so nice to wear. I'll show you the inside of the fabric in case you're looking for it at all. I'm not 100% if it's a French terry. I don't know what this is actually called. It doesn't really have the loops that you would expect from French terry. It's just more like just a subtle fleece that's not terribly soft, but it actually is nice to wear. I was so surprised. The hood, I had a few troubles. I had a few issues with the hood. I cut out all my pieces for my hoodie, and I totally forgot that I would have to cut the hood on a particular grain, and I find those, I've actually stumbled on these instructions with most of the ones that I've made, and I was quite aware that I would have to be careful that I cut this out correctly, and I still messed it up. I can't believe I did that. So I had to use my sewing skills and sewed another piece of fabric to it, which was the lining fabric, to make it all work. I was wanting to leave this plain and actually not have a lining, but I just was not sure how I was going to finish these edges if I didn't have a lining, so I just put it in. I just wanted it to look not much different from a hoodie you'd buy in the shop. That was my plan, but I ended up I put it in. I don't mind it. There is one thing I'm really missing with this hoodie is I actually didn't even realize this until I was wearing it maybe the second time. Most of my hoodies that I have a cord that runs through the hood, and I only realized, like, I felt like the hood was quite floppy, and I hadn't really figured out why. And yeah, I think I need a cord running through here, so I might see if I can put one in later on down the track. It's not hugely necessary, it's just something I'm used to. So yeah, so that's my hoodie. There are several other options in this pattern. Of course, you can have the kangaroo pocket. There's another option, so you can just have, I think it's called a crew neck, just a really stock standard sweatshirt. And there's also an option to make it longer with these little pockets on the side. But yeah, I just wanted the hoodie version. So yeah, I now finally have made one for myself for the first time. I have made other sweatshirts, but I've never made a hoodie. I've been wanting to make a zip-up hoodie, so this doesn't quite meet the requirements of what I wanted to make at the time, but being on school holidays, I thought it's important to make something a little more simple with the kids coming in and eating me so often. So yeah, I didn't want to make anything too tricky, so I just went with the plain Waves and Wild hot coffee hoodie. So I hope I got some photos in of that as well. So the next item that I sewed up for July was the Style Arc Logan Jacket. I have been talking about doing this for so long now, and I finally got around to it. I had this fabric in my stash. Oh, I swear it's been like 2 years now, and I finally made it. So this is my Logan jacket, and I gotta say I found this a lot easier than what I expected. I was expecting it to be quite difficult. I think I've only ever made up one other Style pattern, and I did have trouble with that pattern, and it's a bit more, I think it's a newer pattern what this one was. And yeah, this it wasn't as hard as what I was expecting. It came up really nicely. This fabric is a flannel, a heavy flannel from Spotlight. It's not terribly soft on the inside. I think if I did this again, I would line it just so that it's a bit nicer to wear, but the outside is nice and soft. It does have the really big pockets that come with the pattern on the front here. I wasn't sure if I was going to like these, so I decided I wanted to pattern match these as much as I could and get them as accurate as I could, just so in case I decided I didn't like them. So you can see that they were obviously there. But I think I did a really good job. I actually took one of them off and redid it a second time because it wasn't perfect. So yeah, I don't think I've ever gone to that extreme for a pattern before. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that came out. They also have it has a little side pocket in here as well. I love these pockets. I think they make the jacket so much better with them. And I've done a little button up placket and just plain buttons from Spotlight. And yeah, it has just plain sleeves. There's no cuff or anything on these. It's just really simple. So, oh, and the back detail. Got to show the back detail. I love this little curve at the back. I just think that's really nice. I tried to pattern match that as much as I could. So yes, so I did end up having to make a few adjustments. I did have a couple of problems with this. So when I trialed it, I always do, so for any jacket, I do a fit trial because I have broad shoulders, and it's not with every pattern. Most jackets, yes, I find I have that problem, but not everything. So I did do a fit trial with a lighter weight flannelette, and it turned out fine. So I thought, well, okay, I think I'll just go ahead and cut out the new one. So I cut out this one, my good fabric, and then I put this on when it was pretty much almost done. I top stitched and everything, and it didn't fit. It was so tight on my shoulders, I could barely move my arms. So I was so disappointed because with a new project, I usually sew my seams, I overlock, and I top stitch. So I had to do quite a few adjustments to make it fit. So I was so disappointed. So I ended up unpicking. I think I spent a day unpicking, and this fabric was so hard to unpick. It really frays a lot, and I was really worried that I was ruining the fabric and that it wouldn't, if I pulled on it in future after unpicking it, it would break. So I was actually going to pull out the whole sleeve and redo it, but I decided in the end just to move the seam allowance out slightly to give myself a little bit more room, and it was enough. It worked. So yeah, so now it actually does fit. I just hope it still lasts. I'm still a bit worried about those seams where I did unpick it. Yeah, so if you do fit trial in a different fabric, please learn from my mistakes, because that was terribly disappointing to go to this better fabric and yeah, not fit after all that work. So yeah, I ended up getting a nice fit and I really like it. Oh, I had one other area where I had a problem, and it was the collar. There's a bit of noise outside. I don't know if you can hear this. There's a lot of cars going past. I have a helicopter going over now, and the neighbours, they have a brand new puppy, so he's making a little bit of noise. He's a bit sad. So yeah, I had trouble fitting the collar, and when I went to put it in, it looked like I had this much extra collar to try and fit into that space, and I was like, oh, how is this going to work? I end up going back and watching Sally from Secret Life of a Seamstress, and she has made this several times. So, and I knew she had some sort of a sew along or something, and I saw what she did, and she actually had to manipulate the fabric. She doesn't talk about it in great depth, but she does mention that she had to really so manipulate it to get it to go in. So I had a bit of a play, and I just joined up my ends and your center, and then sort of just tried to make it fit, and I used a heap of pins, and it went in beautifully. So it wasn't as hard as what I thought it was. They were the only things I had trouble with. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. Did I mention that I had to shorten it as well? Don't know if I mentioned that. I did shorten it by quite a bit. It just looked too big on me. It looked very much too oversized on me. So I took it up, but I took it up so much that you can see the pockets hanging down. So I actually end up making a little stitch in one of the black sections, I think it was, of the, you can actually see a thread hanging off there. I made a little stitch in this section here. I think it's here somewhere. So that it would hold the pocket up so it wouldn't actually drop down when it's being worn. And I also, did I do something else to it? Oh yeah, the sleeves. The sleeves looked overly big on me as well. So I ended up tapering them to my wrist so that it wasn't quite as big and open. It just looked too messy on me that way. So yeah, so that's my Star Arc Logan Jacket. I finally made it. And I actually think that in the future I may actually revisit this pattern. It was not as hard as what I expected it to be. So yeah, I'm really proud of myself that I made this. I think I had put it off so long because I was really quite unsure of doing collars. I've made several shirts prior to making this, and I think I was subconsciously working my way up to be able to do this. So yeah, so I'm really, really proud of myself that I finally got there and did it. Next time, if I made this again, broad back adjustment, that's one thing I definitely would do. And I would consider, if I'm using this fabric again, I would line it. So yeah, I do have photos of this on my Instagram if you want to go check those out. So that was my second make for the month of July. So my third make for the month of July, I decided I wanted to participate in the Busy Bee challenge that is run by GeminiStitches and Sequin Girly Creates. I had seen Kay Eldridge, hopefully I said her name right. She's from Pink Dirtle Sews, all on YouTube. They are running a challenge along with the Great British Sewing Bee. It's sort of a take of that. So they have their own 3-month challenge. And for the first month, they exchanged some patterns. And I just said in the comments of her video after watching it, oh, well, it's a great idea. I'd love to have a go at this. But I thought it was too late to even be starting it. And she encouraged me to take part, and she sent me a free pattern so that I could make it up. It was just so thoughtful of her to send me this free pattern and to choose one that was easy for me to make up, considering I was so late to the challenge. So what I made up is this. And this is using the Felicia Sweater, hopefully I've said the name of it right, Felicia Sweater from Mood Fabrics, which is, it's like a turtleneck style top, like winter top. And I didn't have a lot of fabrics that I had on hand. I am avoiding spotlight, I gotta say. I'm trying to stay away and not buy anything else. So I wanted to use fabric from my stash. Yeah, I didn't have a lot that I really thought would suit the pattern, that I really wanted to use for the pattern, considering I'd never made it before. So I decided to go with this fabric, which is a very soft sweater knit from Spotlight. I picked this up on clearance years and years ago. And I had been planning to make a jumper with it with a cowl sort of neck, but I decided I would use it for this. So it is just a really soft, beautiful to wear fabric. I did initially grade out at the hips on this, thinking I just made it to the size, my size on the pattern, and I found I didn't need to grade. I could have just left it as it was. I do think if I made this again, I would choose maybe a black sort of fabric, just to, it's a little bit more my style. But I think I would wear this under something else. I'm not sure if I would wear it by itself. But yeah, it's just a simple like sweatshirt sort of style top. I have put a label on there so I can tell the front from the back. It's one of the little plant labels. I think this is by, I'm gonna have to put a name on the screen. No, Sarah Hart's labels. I'm pretty sure it's Sarah Hart's. So I love Sarah Hart labels. They're always really pretty. And I haven't done a lot of overlocking on this. I've just zigzagged a lot of my seams because this fabric is very, very lightweight and I didn't want to add extra bulk to it, and I didn't want to risk the seams waving. I'm not great at working with knits. I feel like it's something I'm still doing a lot of learning. I feel like I'm generally learning everything a lot, but knits in particular, not as confident with knits as I am with woven fabrics. So I was actually really proud of myself with this one because I did have a real good play with my overlocker and my cover stitch machine because I didn't want to end up with wavy seams, and I didn't have any tape to tape up my hems, and I wanted to do it properly. So I end up playing with my differential feed and I put them on a higher number on both machines, and my hems have come up really nice. I swear that is the best job I have ever done. This probably could do with an iron. I'm really not game to iron this fabric though. I feel like it would melt. So yeah, I have tried to iron them, put a sheet over it and then iron over top, but yeah, it hasn't done a whole lot. But yeah, I'm quite happy with how it's come out. I'm quite pleased with it. It does look quite nice on. I do have this on Instagram as well, so I'll put in pictures of that as well. So that was the third item, and this was for the Busy Bee Challenge. So I guess this is my reveal. Next month for the Busy Bee Challenge, it is a like an upcycle sort of challenge. I'm not sure if I'm going to do all of the challenges because I do have this Standing Tall quilt which I still want to keep working on, but yeah, we'll talk about that one a bit more in my next video. So yeah, so that is what I made for the Busy Bee Challenge, and that was my third make for the month of July. So the last item that I sewed up in July is a pattern that I have had in my stash for years and years, and I don't know why I haven't gotten to it. I don't know, I just never got there. So I finally decided I needed to make it. I had recently purchased some beautiful sweater knit from Spotlight. It was in quite a recent video, and I was determined that these fabrics I bought recently, I really wanted to get those made up. So I decided to make the toaster sweater, and this is, I think it's toaster sweater 2, the one that doesn't have the band at the bottom. And this is what I made. I literally finished this last night. So this is my sweater. It actually looks quite a bit wrinkled there. I gotta say, it wasn't as easy to sew as I was expecting. I kind of thought this would be one of those really quick makes, but I think my instructions might have been the issue, not the pattern, my instructions. Because my pattern, I printed out the pattern and the instructions a long time ago before I think I had really worked out the settings on my printer, and they were printed out terribly. It was so bad. So I kind of read through them several times, and a lot of it refers to using tape and like stay tapes for knits and that sort of stabilizers, and I don't use a lot of that in my knits, and I just found it how the instructions kept referring to using this tape, I found it distracting, and I just struggled to stay on track and follow the instructions properly because of that. So I think I might have used a stabilizer no, I don't think I did. I don't think I used a stabilizer with this at all. The fabric is fairly sturdy, so I don't think I really needed to, but it is this beautiful soft fabric from Spotlight. It's really nice. Yeah, so I didn't use any stay tape in this at all. I did overlock the edges just to give it that more professional sort of finish, and of course another Sarah Hart's label because I love them. I can't remember. I literally just finished this last night, so I have, yeah, there's some raw edges, and I think that's because I didn't quite understand the instructions. it's, I think once you make this, the next one would be really simple because it is a really basic jumper. There's like the front, the back and the sleeves, and that's it. And it's just knowing how to fold this down and what they're asking you to do. I could have been distracted by the movie that I was watching. That is a possibility. But yes, I got it all done. One thing I had trouble with was getting my cover stitching straight and getting that hem even. I did have to undo it, and you can tell I didn't have enough of the right thread. So I've used a blue. Most of it's grey, but there is a bit of blue in there as well. So yeah, I think once I've done this several times, it'll be a lot easier. But this is my first one, and I don't generally do trial runs on knits because I don't see how that works when in with different stretch percentage and all that. So I figure you just got to go for it. I don't know if anyone else does trial runs. Do you guys do trial runs on knits? I have never done that. Unless, of course, I make it several times in a different fabric before I use a really expensive fabric. Yeah, anyway. So this is my toaster sweater. I do really like it. I was a little concerned it was a bit long. Like, I'd added length, and I don't know if maybe I should have taken off an inch. But I do wear leggings at home quite a lot, so it does look good over a pair of leggings being that little bit longer. I don't have photos of this on Instagram. I hope I'll have them up before the weekend hits. So yeah, so this is my toaster sweater. It's a really basic sweater. If you're using stay tape, I'm sure the instructions are probably easier because I feel like they're tailored towards that. But yeah, so it's a really nice sweater. I would definitely wear this. I probably would give it another go in the future. I might reprint out my instructions. That might help. So yeah, that is everything I made for the month of July. I hope you enjoyed seeing that. I am very happy with the amount of fabric that I've managed to work through. I have really knocked off a lot of items. I'm currently making another item because it was the same color as this item, and I have that color in my overlocker. So yeah, that it's just really knocked out some bulk in my stash. So I'm still hoping to get a few more things made for the winter. I have 2 items in my head that I really want to get made before the weather starts warming up, and I need to hurry up, otherwise it won't be worth my while. And I might have to think about making them next year. So yes, anyway, so I hope you enjoyed seeing that today. That is everything I made, everything I have sewn up for the month of July, all my winter items. I am so looking forward to making a few items for the warmer season, or at least something with a little bit of colour. So yes, that is the lot. I hope you guys have had a good chance to do a bit of sewing, or had some time to do some sort of crafting that you enjoy. Next week, I'm thinking about doing my plans video for August. August is also my birthday month. It's coming up real quickly. I'm actually not looking forward to it this year. It's kind of one of those birthdays. So yeah, so next week I will tell you what I want to make for the month of August. So keep an eye out for that one. Thank you so much for watching today. I would love it if you'd give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And if you're not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe to my video, because I am working my way up towards the 2,000 subscriber mark. And I want to say a big thank you to everyone last week who subscribed. That was amazing. I can't believe so many of you subscribed. Thank you so much for doing that. And if you want to know when my next video comes out, which will hopefully be a plans one, hit the bell icon and that will let you know when a video that you want to see is ready to be viewed. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm really happy to have you here. I will be back here next week with my plans video. Bye. Thank you.